We've got all this incredible software now to plan, track, and manage basically everything we do. So why do so many projects still fly completely off the rails? Well, that's the great project paradox we're digging into today. This huge, nagging gap between our powerful tools and the stubborn reality of project failure.
I mean, it's the question that keeps project managers up at night, right? You start out with a totally clear goal, you've got a great team, a solid budget, but somewhere along the way, things just get messy. Deadlines start to slip, communication breaks down, and suddenly chaos feels like it's in charge. So what is it that makes this whole process so universally difficult?
And this quote right here, it really gets to the heart of it. Modern projects aren't just a simple to-do list you check off. Nope. They're these messy, living, breathing ecosystems of people, tasks, and all sorts of surprises you never saw coming. It's that built-in complexity we're all trying to get a handle on.
So when you're faced with all that complexity, what's our go-to solution been? Technology, of course. And the logic, you have to admit, it seems pretty solid. If the problem is trying to manage 1,000 moving parts at once, well, let's just get a powerful system to do it for us. And that brings us to a very specific kind of software. It's officially called a Project Management Information System, or PMIS for short. Just think of it as the digital command center for any given project. It's the thing that's designed to handle, the whole shebang. Scheduling, budgets, risk analysis, and keeping every single document in one place.
And wow, the promises these systems make are just so appealing. I mean, who wouldn't want better planning? Total transparency so everyone knows what's going on? Or the ability to make calls based on actual hard data instead of just a gut feeling? They're supposed to make teamwork seamless and be the one central brain for everything. It really does sound like the perfect fix, doesn't it?
Plus, these tools aren't a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. On one side, you have your project management systems, a PMS, which are fantastic for getting into the nitty-gritty of a single project. The tasks, the timelines, the resources. But then you've got the big guns, project portfolio management systems, or PPM. These are all about the big picture, helping a whole company manage and prioritize dozens of projects at once to make sure they all line up with the main goals. Okay, so with all these powerful tools out there, the path seems pretty clear, right? Just find the right software, plug it in, and poof, watch all your project problems just vanish. Well, this is where our story takes a very, very sharp turn.
And then you read this. This quote from the project management guru Harold Kersner is a total bombshell. In no way associated with information technology. Wait, what? How can that be? We just went over all the amazing things these systems are supposed to do. Is he saying the tech is worthless? Well, not exactly.
See, the crucial point here isn't the technology is bad. It's the technology is just one single piece of a much, much bigger puzzle. The source material is really clear on this. IT needs people and processes involved to even work right. A tool, and it doesn't matter how advanced it is only as good as the environment you put it in.
In fact, when you rely only on the tech, you actually open yourself up to a whole new world of problems. You can become over-reliant on it, and that can actually stop your team from thinking critically. Or a poor implementation, without the right training or setup, can add way more confusion than it ever solves. And let's not forget, these complex systems can cost a fortune in software and maintenance fees.
So if it's not the tool, what is it? Well, this is where the source points to a really fascinating concept called organizational maturity. And this is basically just a way of measuring how good a company is at getting things done effectively by combining its processes, its people, and its systems. And the difference here is it's like night and day. In an organization with low maturity, that super expensive new software, it's often misused, maybe even ignored, and it just leads to more confusion and mistakes. But in a high-maturity organization, that exact same piece of technology becomes this powerful weapon used for smart decision-making and sharing knowledge. It's the same tool, but you get wildly different outcomes.
So the real takeaway here is pretty clear. We've been on this hunt for a single technological silver bullet to fix all our project headaches, but it just doesn't exist. The actual solution is all about creating a strategic balance between a few really key things.
And this brings us right to the main event, the central idea of this explainer, the project success trinity. For a project to really work, you've got to have these three pillars working together in harmony. First, you need the right people with the right skills and great leadership. Second, you need well-defined processes that are repeatable but also flexible enough to adapt. And then, and only then, you bring in the right technology, put in place specifically to support those people and those processes. This quote just nails the importance of that first pillar, doesn't it? People.
It doesn't matter how much data a system can crunch, it can never, ever replace the experience, the judgment, and that gut intuition of a skilled project manager and a team that works well together.
Here's a really simple way to think about it. Technology, it's like a power drill. It's an incredibly powerful tool, for sure. But if you put it in the hands of someone who has no clue how to use it, or someone who doesn't have a plan, a blueprint, it's not just useless, it could actually be dangerous. The tool itself doesn't build the house. The skilled person with a good plan does.
So how do you actually put this into practice? Well, the source material gives us a pretty clear roadmap. It's all about intentionally weaving your technology together with the know-how of your people. It's about making sure your systems actually line up with how your business really works. And this is the big one. It's about investing in training, in leadership, in communication, the human side of the whole equation.
So, the next time one of your projects starts to wobble, I want you to ask yourself this question. Are you just out there looking for a better tool? Or are you actually working on building a stronger Trinity? Because that answer just might be the difference between failure and success.